Hey again there, Marvel Legends fans, this is Wesatron. Today we're going to be taking a look at the one that probably everybody's been waiting for, which is X-Force Deadpool. Now this is pretty much, at least from outward looks, the exact same figure that came out in the Marvel Legends 2 packs with Warpath a couple years ago. But this is the first time he's been made widely available to everyone, and there will be a red repaint that comes on along the way. But as far as packaging goes, it's the same deal you've seen with the others. He comes with, looks like the same accessories as the other figures, so no new surprises there, but got this great art up here, which you get a much better view of on the back. This is awesome. It's a great rendition of X-Force Deadpool, but like when you look close, you can see what he's doing. He's actually like playing, he's popping the head off of the Doctor Doom action figure. He's got his own action figure in his hand. Over here in the corner, he's got a poster of X-Force with a heart drawn around Psylocke. This is a great rendition of the X-Force Deadpool. I'm not as familiar with his solo comic anymore, but in X-Force, that's just perfect. I love it. So yeah, basic packaging, same as everybody else. Let's get him open and see what we got. And here we have Deadpool out of packaging. As you can see, he looks really, really nice. I'm glad that they went with kind of the darker gray X-Force colors. There seems to be this kind of disagreement between color artists, I think, where we're sometimes getting silver costumes, sometimes getting gray, sometimes getting black and white. So it goes back and forth. But yeah, he's got a real solid gray color, very dark. I really like the look of it. Now, as I mentioned, he does look identical to the Marvel Legends 2-pack from Toys R Us from a couple years ago, and this was a notoriously hard to find 2-pack. I actually had to have a friend pick one up for me. My boy Hicks Royal over at TFW hooked me up, so appreciate that, Hicks. But you'll see, I mean, it's the exact same sculpt, head to toe. Nothing's changed. Got the buckles and everything. It's got this really, really nice head sculpt. Very, very detailed. Lots of wrinkles in there. Very cool. Got the lining on the mask. Oh, for people who are curious, there is the little flappy do on the back here. And he's got his new styled, I think it's like a teleportation harness. I don't really know. He doesn't wear this in X-Force, which is a big bummer for me. As far as the figure goes, I think they could have easily made a new piece for that alone. Would have been really cool, but that's not up to me. They had the figure sculpted already, so the belt here also has the Deadpool symbol, which I don't think he wears in the comic, but again, they already had the mold, so what are you going to do? Great pouches with the silver dots for the clasps, very nice. You can see the scabbards here for his swords. Very cool. Unfortunately, the swords do poke out at the bottom. If you do place a sword in there, if you put it all the way down, you'll see that the blades pop out at the bottom. I have no idea why they designed it this way. I mean, to just add just a tiny bit more plastic there, I really don't get it. But whatever. They did paint the buckles on the leg, which is cool. Buckles on the feet, very nice. And the straps on the ankles too. So these are, you know, newly molded. Because this is essentially the what is it? The bullseye body, I think it is. They reuse it a lot. Normally I don't like it, but I don't mind it as much on him with the gear. Although I honestly would have preferred the Bucky Buck, which I just like to say that, the Bucky Buck. He's got details on the bottom of his boots in terms of the soles. If I can get that, there we go. Yeah, it's not super detailed, but it's nice that they went that far with it. Now his feet is curved up just a little bit, so you just want to be aware of that when you're trying to pose him. He might tilt, but it shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, like I said, pretty much the exact same thing as this guy. I think the sheaths are removable? Yeah. Yeah, both sheaths are removable, so if you wanted to have him like draw on his sword, you could put a sheath in this hand and then have him draw with the other. Well, you could, except that if you have this guy, then you already know that swords don't fit so good in Deadpool's hands, which kind of sucks. I was hoping that they would maybe remold these for this guy, because it doesn't fit at all in this hand. This is a trigger hand, I mean, it doesn't even like pretend to fit. It just falls right out. But this hand, you know, you can kind of rest it in there, but if you move it at all, it's gonna fall out. So that's a bit of a bummer. I kind of hope that they would close that up a little bit, but they haven't. So at least you know the score. It's the same as last time. The swords themselves actually are the same ones that came with like the hand 2-pack from back in the day with the shield agents. And I think Elektra and Ronin before that. So they're very nicely detailed. They look great. Very great paint. Straight edges, which is really nice. For being in a package, actually in a blister where they were, you know, in between pieces of plastic, they're not warped at all. I'm really impressed with that. So good job Hasbro on good packaging. The rifle is the same that we've seen before. We've seen this with a lot of characters. I think Nick Fury came with this from the Captain America line from Walmart. Deadpool came with it last time. I think he had his Deadpool symbol on it last time. But you can see it's essentially a AK with a folding stock here and a grenade launcher on the front. And that's pretty much, I mean, it's not really complicated. It's got the, I don't know who makes these, but the like polymer mags as opposed to the metal mags that you're used to seeing on an AK, so it just looks a little more tactical. And it is painted red in there. I'm not really sure why. But it looks neat, you know, it's different. It adds a little depth to it, so I don't mind. So that's pretty cool. He can hold this with 2 hands. He doesn't have any trouble with that. He's got to get it, you know, in the right position. And then let your camera focus. So yeah, essentially like that. Because these hands are kind of bendy, so that they will grab. So that's good. So that's it. Let's talk about some articulation. As I said, same as before, swivel left to right, and the hinge that lets you go pretty far back and very far down. Very nice downward movement. Unfortunately, this is the older style neck joint, so there's no ball on top, so there's no side to side, like no tilt. So that's a bummer. He does have the lats here, so he can move his shoulders in and out, which is cool. Swivel hinges on the shoulders, so his arms can go way up, all the way around. Swivel at the biceps, double hinge elbows with a pretty nice range of motion. You know, I dig that. That's not like, you know, wrist to shoulder, but it's pretty good. Swivel hinge hands, so they go in and out and all the way around. Nice ab crunch here. Move his arm out of the way there. You can see he crunches really nicely forward and pretty decently back too. So if you want to get him in his like Power Rangers, oh, we were hit pose, then you can do that very easily. Or if you want to have some weird hentai fantasy, hey, you know, I'm not here to judge. That's for you to do. Swivel waist, swivel hinge, ball hips. So these are at the V angle, so you've got to kind of rotate them and then twist the leg down to the position you want. I still really, really don't like these hips, but they are a part of the repertoire over there, part of the mold pulling from Hasbro, so they probably are going to be around for a while in some capacity. Double hinge knees, good range on these. If I can, sometimes one will want to bend and the other won't. So there you go, very nice range. And we've got the old style swivel hinge ankles. So not going to be the great flat-footed things that we're seeing lately with Marvel Legends, but you know, it's not bad. It'll get the job done. He also comes with his stand, so that helps. And as I've said before, these will interlock with the other stands. You can see how they kind of fit together there. And then they'll also stack on top of each other. So if you do get a bunch of these, you can create a tiered display. So that's pretty cool. At the right now, I guess I'm just collecting those. They're kind of gathering dust right now, but if I get a lot of them, then you can do some pretty neat things with them. Lastly, he also got in his holster this the pistol, the same one who came with Frank, and some other figures up to this point. There we go. It's a you know SIG, more or less. Yeah, again, all nickel plated, even though it should have a polymer bottom because the grip is integrated. Or at least that's what it looks like to me. I don't know. gun nuts can tell me different. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. The good news about this figure is that he comes out in a wave with several other people who come with lots of guns. Mystique's got a lot of guns. Frank Castle's got a lot of guns. When Blade comes out, he's going to have a lot of guns. So if you're like me and you prefer small arms, you can just reach over to your Frank figure, probably knock over all your other toys. Come here, Frank. You can grab out an MP5K, something Deadpool is kind of known for using anyway. And boom, more Deadpool stuff. Great. Very nice stuff. So you'll have a lot of options because those characters all have more guns than they can actually pose with. More than they can actually store on their bodies, you know, just more guns than they need. So, yeah, this is pretty much it for Deadpool. As I said, he's pretty much the same thing as before. Things I would like to have had fixed. I would have liked the new ankle-style articulation, but I get that. I don't understand why they wouldn't remold the fists if they knew that it was a problem, because that was the one thing everybody complained about in the last figure, was that he couldn't hold his swords. And these are 6-inch figures, not Jedi from Star Wars, so they need to be able to hold their weapons. So that's a bit of a bummer. And then just the harness. The harness, I think, could have been better. They could have redesigned that. It would have been really easy to swap it out with, say, Nick Fury's harness. Let me pull him in here real quick. Now I'm knocking over the toys. There they are. See inside there, he's got the shoulder holster. That's much more similar to what Deadpool's wearing. In the X-Force comic book, at least. So I really would have liked to have seen that. That would have made a great variation. And it would have shown a little bit on Hasbro's part of what they were willing to do to please comic book fans. So I think that would have been really cool. As it stands, he's pretty neat. I dig him. He's going to look good whenever Archangel and Wolverine come out, because I did not pay the $5,000 for the box set from SDCC. But as far as a standalone figure, he looks good. He poses well. He can hold most of his accessories. So yeah, I'd say he's a solid buy, $15 to $16. If you buy the case from BBTS, the case, not the set of 6, if you buy the case, they come out to about $15 a piece before shipping. So I would say if you're going to get this whole line, that's the route to go. I think it's a great deal. So yeah, that's it, guys. I want to thank all my new subscribers. Everybody's been commenting. We really appreciate it. If you have any comments or questions, hit me up below. And if you have time, make sure you go over to InfiniteHollywood.com and check out what Newton Gimmick is doing over there. He's got some great stuff up now, especially about $6 million Man Mego. That's a pretty interesting thing right there. So check that out. Let me know what you think. Let him know what you think. Talk to us. We love toys. So yeah, hit us up. Thanks, guys. You have a great day. Peace.